A very good morning, dear students. Today we start the reading of this chapter, Going Places, chapter number 8, the very last chapter of this Flamingo book. After this, we will be starting a new book or the next book, which is Supplementary Reader. So, dear children, before we come to this topic, let's have a discussion something about the author. A.R. Burton is a modern writer, okay, who lives in Zurich and writes in English. Obviously, he's English writer, so he writes in English and modern writer. In the story Going Places, this chapter, A.R. Burton explores the theme of adolescence, the age, fantasizing, imagination, and hero worship that everybody, whosoever is an adolescent, has the power to deal with the world, has the power, has the enthusiasm, has the gist to show himself or herself at the top. So these two points, like fantasizing and hero worship, are the counterpart of this particular chapter. Okay, so we start the reading. We know that we have Sophie, a daydreamer, Jancy, her friend, Derek, her younger brother, Geoff, her elder brother, and father of their family, and of course, a celebrity named Danny Casey, an Irish football player, you can say, or soccer player, you can say. Now, when I leave, Sophie said, coming home from school. Now, in this scene, Sophie and Jancy, they are coming from school to home. Okay, we know that they belong to poor family, or you can say lower than middle family, and they need to go to biscuit factory after school off. Okay, so when I leave, Sophie said, coming home from school, I'm going to have a boutique. So Sophie and Jancy, they are coming to house, and on the way Sophie said to Jancy that I'm going to open a boutique. Jancy linking arms with her along the street. Jancy said, looked doubtfully. Means Jancy looked at Sophie very doubtfully, because Jancy knows each and every aspect of her real life. Of whose life? Sophie's life. Is it not very, child's play to open a boutique? Jancy knows the reality. Takes money. Means what takes money? Opening a boutique takes money. Sof means short name of Sophie, something like that. I'll find it. Sophie said, I'll find out the money. Staring far down the street. Take you a long time to save that much. Means Jancy said, it will take time to save that much amount. Which amount? To open a boutique, that is required. Well, I'll be a manager. If I have to manage the money for a long time, it means I will become a manager then. Yes, of course, to begin with, till I have got enough, but anyway, I know just how it's all going to look. Means now Sophie dreams that how it's going to look, means the boutique and the situation that he will manage to invest or to save that much money to open a boutique. They won't make you manager. Means managing money doesn't mean that you become manager straight off directly. So I'll be like Mary Quant, a great personality of British Raj. Okay, Sophie said, I'll be natural. Means I will not show anything, I will be natural. They'll see it from the start. Who will see? The people. I'll have the most amazing shop in this city ever seen. Means she will going to open a boutique, and that boutique will be very unique, that had never been seen by the people. Jancy, knowing they were both earmarked for the biscuit factory. Earmarked means that was, uh, you know, granted for them to work in biscuit factory. Because became melancholy. Melancholy means sad. She wished Sophie won't say these things. She hopes, she hoped means then she hoped that Sophie should not speak such things. Uh, when they reached Sophie's street, Jancy said, when they reached very near to house, Jancy said, it's only a few months away now, Soph, you really should be sensible. Sensible means knowledgeable as well as very try to understand the things. So they have very few months in school. After that, they will leave the school. So they should be very sensible. They don't pay well for shop work. You know that means the people they do not pay good amount. Your dad would never allow it. Even then she knows it very well that the father of Sophie would not allow her to open a boutique or an actress. Now next dream is to become an actress. Now there is a real money in this, in that means to do acting means to earn real money. Yes, and I could maybe have the boutique on the side means now. So Sophie thinks that he will do part-time job as an actress and he will manage her boutique. Actresses don't work full time means no actress does full time work. Do they? Do they do? This question she asked to Jancy. Anyway, that of a fashion designer. Then she will become fashion designer. You know, something a bit sophisticated, something a bit different. Okay, little bit different. And she turned in through the open street door, leaving Jancy standing in the rain. Now she reached at their destination. They reached at their destination, and Sophie left Jancy out of his house, open or standing in the rain. Now the season is going on, rainy season, or rain is there. You can say, if ever I come into money, I'll buy a boutique. Then she ended her dialogue or her conversation with Jancy with this: if ever I have money, then definitely I will purchase or buy a boutique. Oh, if you ever come into money, if you ever come into money, you will buy us a blessed decent house to live in. See, this is the difference between both of the girls. One girl says, if I ever earn money, then I will buy a boutique. But the second one means Jancy said that if you ever come into money, please give us a blessed decent house to live in. So whose approach is more practical? Jancy's approach. Okay. Thank you very much. And after that, she says thank you to that Sophie. Sophie's father was scooping suffered pie into his mouth. Means Sophie's father was smoking as hard as he could go. Means he was smoking very hardly. Okay, very strongly. His plump face still grimy and sweat. The sweat can be observed on his forehead, marked from the day, marked from the morning. Okay. Then she thinks money grows on trees, don't she, Dad? Said little Derek. Means the younger brother of Sophie says that according to Sophie, the money grows on trees. Okay, hanging on the back of his father's chair, and this boy was hanging on the back side of the chair on which the dad was sitting. Their mother's side means their mother, the mother of this family means the wife of the father or the mother of Sophie, Derek, and Geoff. She took a sigh as she heard this dialogue from Derek's mouth that money grows on trees, as per understanding of Sophie. Sophie washed her back, stooped over the sink, and wondered at the incongruity of the delicate bow which fastened her apron string. The delicate seeming bow and the crooked back. The evening had already blacked in the windows, and the small rooms was steamy from the stove and cluttered with the heavy breathing man in his vest at the table and the dirty washing piled up in the corner. Sophie felt a tightening in her throat. She went to look for her brother Geoff. Dear children, in this paragraph, the situation of Sophie's house is being shown, like crooked back, okay, her parents back, and small room, got it, steamy from the stove, the fireplace was also there, the smoke of making preparing food and all. Okay, so heavy breathing, dirty washing piled up in the corner means the dirty cloths piled up means they were put in the corner. And here she comes out of the house because she was searching for her brother Geoff. Okay, now this paragraph, next paragraph is about Geoff. He was kneeling on the floor in the next room. In the very next room, he was kneeling on the floor, tinkering with a part of his motorcycle over some newspaper spread on the carpet. Means Geoff is doing some work. Oh, the newspaper, by spreading the newspaper on the floor, and some parts of the motorcycle or the bike were on the floor. It means he was doing something with the parts or with the engine or with mechanical works he was doing right now, simply I should say. Then he was 3 years out of school, means before 3 years he left the school, an apprentice mechanic. Apprentice means helper, simply a helper. Apprentice actually means a person who does any vocational course like ITI, like welder, fitter, electrician, draftman, like this, tradesman. And after completing the course, the person goes to any government agency like workshop of roadways and some other agencies to get experience. So this person is called apprentice practically. So like this, Geoff is an apprentice mechanic traveling to his work each day to the far side of the city. Daily, he has to travel very far distance to reach his destination of a job or working destination, simply. Okay, out of the city. He was almost grown up now, means he has got maturity. Grown up means like an adult, and she suspected areas of his life. She suspected areas of life about which she knew nothing. Means now this C character, means Sophie, has some kind of doubt regarding some parts of Geoff's life that she knew nothing, even though in reality she does not know anything about the parts of Geoff's life about which he never spoke. Which he never spoke means the boy Geoff never speaks. He said little at all. It means he speaks very little, ever voluntary. Words had to be prized out of him like stones out of the ground. See, words have to be prized. It means this boy Job speaks very little whenever required, otherwise he keeps mum. He keeps silent. And this silence disturbs Geoff a lot. This silence disturbs Sophie a lot. Okay, that's why. And then when he wasn't speaking, no, and she was jealous of his silence. And this is the reason why Sophie does not feel comfortable with Geoff, because he hardly speaks any words, and whenever he speaks, it seems that it likes stones out of the ground. Means the words coming out of his mouth, they are considered as stones coming out of the ground. So this one is very unique character, you can see. Then when he wasn't speaking, it was as though he was away somewhere. It means when he does not speak, it means his mind is somewhere out there in the world, in those places he had never been. Means silently Geoff can travel the places where Sophie never has been. Means he cannot think about that places. Silently Geoff can visit them. It means I should say Geoff is the most practical person in comparison to Sophie. Whether they were only the outlying districts of the city or places beyond in the surrounding country, means whether it is the other location out of the city that she never has been, but Geoff can go and can visit all the places. Who knew? They attained a special fascination simply because they were unknown to her. Means all the surrounding places of the city they were unknown to her and remained out of her reach. And remained out of reach means she never sees all these places which were out or which were surrounding of the city because she never goes out. The reason is this. Then perhaps there were also people, exotic, interesting people of whom he never spoke. Means there might be some interesting people in this city with whom Geoff never spoke. It was possible, though he was quiet and didn't make new friends easily. That's why uh, to become friend with Geoff is not an easy job, and he never allows somebody or other person to become his friend easily because he hardly speaks. She longed to know them. Longed to know them means all the places. She wished, she hoped she could be admitted more deeply into her brother's affection. What does Sophie want? Sophie wants that she should be in the good list of her brother Geoff, and that someday or another day he might take her with him. Means Geoff would take Sophie with him, though their father forbade it, and Geoff had never expressed an opinion, even though Sophie knows that their father will not allow this one, and even Geoff has not expressed his point regarding going out with Sophie. She knew he thought her too young, means Sophie knows it very well that Geoff thinks that she's young. Who is young? Sophie is young, and she was impatient. She was conscious of vast world out there waiting for her, and she knew instinctively that she would feel as at home there as in the city which had always been her home. So she feels like that this city is her home, and Geoff knows it very well that this girl is still young and she is impatient. It expectantly awaited her arrival. She saw herself riding there behind Geoff. She assumes that she is sitting at the back seat of the bike or the cycle riding by Geoff. He wore new shining black leather, and she has a yellow dress with the kind of cape that she flew out behind. So, my dear children, here again she has a daydream of sitting backside of Geoff, going out of the city wearing yellow dress, and he was wearing a shiny black leathers and all these. She again dreams about her life. There was the sound of applause as the world rose to greet them, and then she thinks that the great applause takes place as the people of the city they saw them going out of the city to visit some places. Okay, dear students, so today we stop here. The next part we will continue in next video. Till then, do reading and try to understand the concept of Sophie, Jancy, and Geoff. Okay, take care. Goodbye.